In December of 1994, I fell ill. I was 18 and I was hospitalized and diagnosed with Crohn's disease. The doctors sent my parents down without me, and they explained that what they had to look forward to was a lifelong of surgeries, wheelchair, and early death. I struggled with my own faith in that. I was a teenager, my life just totally went on the rails. And during that time, I had to learn how to trust in God, how to cope, how to still live. And in the spring of that next year, there was a youth retreat, and the youth pastor encouraged my family to let me go, even though I was quite sick. And he says, I'll take care of everything. And in that youth retreat, the speaker felt that God was going to heal abdominal issues. And I went forward for prayer, and when he prayed for me, I knew that God instantaneously healed me. I felt God recreate my intestines. My abdomen was moving, and I felt being brand new. I knew I was healed. I stopped all medication. I went to a normal diet after being on baby food diet for 4 or 5 months. We celebrated the victory of what God had done. In the fall of 2011, I started to be ill. I wasn't feeling good, and it ended up being my gallbladder. I actually remember the Sunday before the surgery, we actually had an altar call, and I just felt to go forward for prayer for it. And in the back of my head, I was like, why? It's just easy surgery. But I went forward for prayer. I had the surgery. I came home. I was expecting to feel great because it was just day surgery. And after a couple days, it didn't feel so good. By day 5, I collapsed and I was taken to the hospital by ambulance. By the time I was day 10 post-op, I knew things were not right. And I said to my husband and my mother-in-law, if I don't go back to the hospital today, I won't live through tomorrow. I went back into the hospital, and they diagnosed me with a bile leak. The gallbladder surgery clips did not hold, and bile had been leaking in my body for 10 days. I knew God was with me. The surgeon that needed to be there was at the hospital that day. He could do the surgery. They said, this never happens that he's here. He's the only one that can do the procedure. He's here. They did the procedure on I remember it was a Friday, and over the weekend, I was not improving as they thought I should. I remember that Sunday afternoon, I had no visitors. The nurses had switched over, and the one nurse that left actually forgot to reconnect my pain medication. So I had no pain medication, and in walked Pastor Kevin. And he prayed for me. And I knew God was with me then. I knew God sent somebody in that very difficult day. That night, my parents could not sleep in Cuba. My husband could not sleep at home. They all interceded for me the entire night long. What they did not know was that instead of alternating the medications, the nurses just constantly gave me morphine, and actually they overdosed. And I remember waking up to a nurse, and she was slapping my face saying, you need to fight to live. You need to fight to live. If you do not fight, you will not live. And at one point I thought, maybe this is it. But then I knew that God had a plan for my life. I knew that my life was not over, and that God was going to do something. And with my husband praying and my parents praying, I survived the night. I learned through this that sometimes healing is instantaneous. Sometimes it's a journey. But God is with you no matter what. And God heals. And God has a plan for my life. And I just know that it was because of what Jesus did on the cross, that by his stripes we are healed. And I can walk in healing and victory and wholeness forever.